What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the We Want Florida podcast. I'm Nathan Bray, sitting alongside Austin Wiseman and Joe Damer. This is the game two recap. What a thriller we had. Game going to double overtime, 5-4 game. Panthers tie the series up at one apiece. This is just such a huge win coming back to Florida with the series tied. I mean, this game changes the momentum of this series entirely. Um, Austin, do you think that this is the momentum and the game that we needed to just pull away in this series?
You know, I'm a big believer in momentum, but I'm going to go on Paul Maurice's side here. He's not a believer in momentum. So I don't think this one's going to swing the series one way or the other, but it was a huge win. You have to get one on the road in Edmonton. It's going to be a battle from here on out. So we're still going, but I wouldn't say the series. I mean, having home ice, we are definitely have the advantage right now, but like, I don't think it's going to swing one way or the other because of that.
What's your thoughts on that, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I'm usually momentum guy as well, but with these two teams, it's just, any given day really. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, a loss like this in double overtime for Edmonton. Obviously, we had the overtime loss in game one, but I feel like this double overtime game and this loss can really suck the wind out of a team. Just playing such long minutes, and we saw their big guys, McDavid, Bouchard, Draisaitl, all have tons of ice time. I mean, felt like they were never coming off. But it's just such a big momentum shift, I think. But let's go to the Florida Panthers, and I'm going to start a little differently. Normally, we start with like a player of the game. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go to Bill Zito.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And here's why I'm going to Bill Zito.
Uh,
He he made a move,
couple of them.
a couple of them, but Brad Marchand, a guy with cup experience, shorthanded goal, and a game winner in overtime. How, I mean, this is just such a big move and just simply a Bill
Bro.
Zito masterclass. I mean, would you say that the Brad Marchand pickup was the biggest one of the trade deadline?
It's actually crazy because when the game ended, game two, going into this podcast, I was made an emphasis to mention Bill Zito in this pod.
I
As
was doing
I
the
was
same
gonna
thing.
have a
Yep.
whole spiel on Bill Zito, and
Absolutely.
I'll still get into it.
Yep.
But you're referring to Marchand, man. I think just what his energy, what he's brought, him and Seth Jones, that new energy that they brought to this team is how you continue to go on runs after runs after runs. Like if you put the same guys on the ice, eventually they're just not going to be inspired. But you bring new energy to the locker room with Marchand, with Jones. Um, I mean, even just a guy like Gadjevich who didn't play a lot in the postseason last year, he's bringing in new energy. So yeah, I was going to talk about Bill Zito, and I thought this game two in particular was the game of Bill Zito because it seems like the guys like trading for Bennett, signing Nate Schmidt, and he's trading for Seth Jones, trading for Brad Marchand. All those guys contributed in this one in game two.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Brad Marchand and both of those goals that he had them on breakaways. And when I watched the clips back, you could see that when he saw Anton Lundell have control of the puck, he just took off towards
Yep.
Skinner's net. So that trust in that line and signing a guy at the trade deadline and still being able to have the trust in your line mates. I mean, that's just such a big deal.
Mm.
Yep. I mean, you guys can go on and on about Brad Marchand. I mean, his game spoke for itself. He won the game, so that is what, I mean, everybody's, Brad Marchand's the hero, but +3 for Jonesy and 34 minutes on the ice. for
And
a whatever they were calling him in Chicago, what, a traffic cone, old, contract needs to be terminated. Yeah, that's not too bad with a goal and an assist.
and that's exactly where I was going next to the defense. We saw 2 goals from defensemen, Kulikov and Jones.
Hanging in the rafters.
Yeah, some might say so.
Bro.
And 2 assists again from Nate Schmidt on 2 dime passes. I mean, those passes were just unbelievable. We saw them in game 1, we saw them in game 2. Is Nate Schmidt the hottest defenseman on our team right now?
Hard to pick one. I mean,
Yeah.
as I just read out the Jones stats. I mean, I I guess he is. I mean, Jones is a close second, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to, it's a toss up. It's hard to pick one.
Yeah, I mean, right now I don't want to take Nate Schmidt off the ice. Just what he's doing, making plays. He's playmaking as a third pairing defense guy. I mean, his 4 assists in these series, setting up those goals, were all just like unbelievable plays, unbelievable passes. And I would say he's the hottest guy on this team right now. When the Panthers give out the game pucks at the end of the game, obviously Marchand got it. Man, I wanted Nate Schmidt to get it, but obviously it's got to go to Marchand for what he did. But Nate Schmidt's been one of the best players on the team, and that's so unexpected for him to do that.
Yeah, and passing in this series, I mean, the Panthers have had some great passes, but just the passing in this series is just on a different level. Anton Lundell, 2 passes, both go, for goals. Let's go to Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett with another goal. And let's talk about this goalie interference call.
Mhm.
We've seen another penalty-filled game. 10 power plays in total, 2 goals, 1 from each team on the power play. And we saw some questionable calls all throughout the game, but this goalie interference call that led to a goal. Joe, give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I'm definitely going to be, the black sheep here and have the different thoughts. You guys are going to agree with each other. I just know how it's going to go. However, I do feel that he's not going to get away with it this many times. If you look at the clips, I feel like we were talking about it earlier. One's got to get, I mean, he had 2 in the game and both were questionable. One's going to have to go the Oilers' way. It is what it is. Whether it's a makeup call for the previous one, because in my opinion, the one where Rodriguez shot from the far left side corner, I think that one was even worse than the one where he fell on Skinner's leg and everybody made a big deal out of it. I think that one was even worse. So if you want to call it a makeup call, then that's what you call it. But I just don't think you can get away with it twice. So I don't dislike the call. If it was my team, that's how I'd want it.
So if it's not Sam Bennett, do you think that gets called?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well,
I'm with you.
Well, I mean, if it's Kachuk, I think it gets called. If it's Marchand, I think it gets called. It's the Rats, dude. I mean, they have a reputation. They built a reputation. They got to stay with it. It is what it is. But, at the end of the day, we're not going to get too hung over a penalty that, didn't even really
led to a goal, though.
Yeah,
so
but, it definitely did impact the game, but it's not
course.
like you can't be mad about it because that's what he does.
Oh, I'm mad.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. Well,
that's his play style. So I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad either way that they gave us the penalty. I'm not mad that he did what he did. It's our hockey. It is what it is. We take penalties.
Austin, what you got on it?
yeah. Well, I think I'm not the guy that usually complains about refs, but I thought the refs were terrible in the first period. I think it was both ways. It wasn't like, I'm not going to sit up here and say that they called everything on the Panthers. No, there was penalties at Edmonton. I think there was a tripping behind the net on Ekblad.
That one was
He
bad.
didn't even come close to touching him. That was just, I thought they were just trying to do makeup call after makeup call and try to keep it going the other way. On the Bennett one, I mean, realize how there's a little hesitation to blowing the whistle there, but because you saw Skinner went down and they call it, leads to McDavid making an unbelievable play to Draisaitl. But look, at the end of the day, the refs don't make the difference in this series. They felt like they needed to put their place in this game too. They wanted some TV time, but at the end of the day, it's not the series is not going to be affected by the refs. But on the Bennett call, that was not the right call.
I'm going to throw something in here that I actually just now thought about. We saw an embellishment call on Matthew Tkachuk. Where's the embellishment call on Stuart Skinner?
Well, I mean, it's a goalie, so it's not gonna happen. But yeah, I'm not out here going tit for tat with embellishment calls. I'm just gonna go with what it is. I don't really.
I mean,
I don't even like embellishment because I think half the
yeah,
time it's like, I mean, they're hockey players. They want to play hard.
No, I'm with you on that.
I think
But if we're going to
embellishment.
call it,
Yeah, I
let's
think
call it.
embellishment should just be taken away from the game of hockey. It's terrible. Like it makes no sense at all. Evan Rodriguez last series gets hit into the boards, his face right into the boards. He's hurting, and they're like, "All right, embellishment." And
My
he didn't even know until after the game that he got called for embellishment. That was just a ridiculous call. Like, and embellishment should not be in the game of hockey. It's and you saying Skinner should have been called for embellishment. You know, I mean, he might have been actually hurt. So,
No,
uh,
I'm not saying that he should have, but I mean,
yeah,
if we're talking makeup calls, then
yeah, no, I
let's
get it.
I'm
let's
just not.
take it
I'm
off.
not a fan of embellishment at all.
Well, let's go back to a positive, and we've talked about him in the first two episodes. Another great game, Sergei Bobrovsky, double overtime, hang tough, made a lot of clutch saves right at the end. I mean, just another great game. Um, in the first episode, I said that I was a little worried about, you know, maybe him slowing down, getting tired. I'm going to take that back.
You should.
Yeah,
It would be wise of you.
I'm going to take that back. And you guys were right about that one. Sergei Bobrovsky
Is him.
is a beast in the net. That's for sure. And fourth line, we talked about in the last episode. The fourth line, Nosek had the penalty in overtime. Fourth line played a good game. I'm not upset with the fourth line. Did you guys see anything out of that fourth
And
line that maybe you didn't like?
I mean, I don't really think their pace. There's where I think Joe said it. During the game with Boakvist, but I don't really have too many negatives about it. I think Thomas Nosek, who we know in game one made that terrible play to, penalty over the glass. What a bounce back for him. He was very good in game two. I mean, and that just shows the culture of the Florida Panthers in the locker room. They're with each other. And I mean, look, if someone makes that play, they're affected by it. Going to the next game, they're playing scared. Nah, he went in there and I thought he played one of his better games of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I love that one of the first things Murray said after the game was what a game Nosek played today.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the media was all over him, which, I mean, it's game one of the Stanley Cup Finals, so it's going to happen. But I love that he backed his player. I mean, that's awesome to me. So, but yeah, I mean, they played good. I don't, once Austin said it, Boku, Boquist is very fast, and I've seen him get into the offensive zone a number of times last game, and there's nobody there for him. And listen, I know, it's not we're not looking to, change the score with the fourth line, whatever. It's, they're there to do a different job than the first line, but it would be nice for, someone to be there with them, or I don't know. I
You
don't know what
mentioned the
my take
first
on that
line.
is.
You mentioned the first line. Let's go there. No production. We talked about it. We needed our big guys to step up. We saw Matthew Tkachuk, obviously not on the first line, but second line, no points, no shots, just a uncharacteristic game from him. So, do you think that the first line's job right now is not to score goals? Is it to slow down McDavid, Draisaitl?
Mm,
I wouldn't exactly say that. I mean, it's not from a lack of trying, especially on Reinhardt's end. I mean, what he had 6 shots on goal or something like that last
Yeah,
game. I think it was. I think Marchand had 7 and he had 6.
yeah,
I
they were
think
high.
I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look that up, but it's not from lack of trying. He had 6 shots on goal. I mean, yeah, Kachuk had 0, whatever. Could be a weird game for him, but Barkov seems to be um, going through a weird whatever it is right now. I don't know if it's he's trying to defend McDavid and Draisaitl if he's got his hands full there or whatever's going on, but um, I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about our first line at all. I think as the series goes on, they're just gonna get better. So I mean, I'm not worried about it.
yeah, I mean, I think the first line was really lackluster in these first 2 games, but you look at it and we're 1-1, and we haven't seen Alexander Barkov and Mr. Game 7 game winning goal, Sam Reinhart, affect this series yet. Um, Look, I thought Sam Reinhart looked a little lost offensively. Like he was missing the net really. Like you look at Sam Reinhart last year, those shots in the slot, that breakaway, he's at least making that goalie make a big save, but he was missing the net. He was off. I don't know if that it's the injury from last year's or not, but yeah, we definitely need more from the first line. And Barkov's supposed to be our guy. That's look, they have a tough matchup, but he's -4 in these first 2 games. So look, your first line can't do that. What you were saying was, are they looking to score? Look, you're not going to win the Stanley Cup final if your first line's it's staying back in the D zone all day. They have to be the superstars that they are. So we're going to need more from them. But luckily, we're in a good spot right now. We took one on the road, and coming home, I think that'll make them more comfortable. I think the first line is usually really good at home. You look at the Panthers are such a good road team that those second liners like Sam Bennett, who has 12 of his 13 goals on the road, those guys love playing on the road. A guy like Barkov and Reinhardt, I think they're gonna produce on home ice
At
starting
home.
tomorrow.
And we saw a lot of icings in this third period in the overtime, the first overtime especially. And I think that a lot of that was, once again, Edmonton was in the offensive zone so much that our guys were just going for changes. I think we need to be a little more aggressive on this. I think we need to skate the puck in, be aggressive, get the shots on goal, and stop with this, dumping the puck. I mean, I get it, our guys are tired, but we're in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's
I think
skate.
I think that's definitely something that they're going to look to evaluate after these 2 games because that seems to be a common theme. I mean, especially in Kachuk's pregame interview, he said, sometimes you don't think about it, but you do play differently with a lead and trying to hold in the third period. And I mean, like we said, just play the same hockey. Look to extend the lead, and I don't think we have any I don't think there's as much icing. I don't think there's any like if we have the puck in the offensive, it's stupid to say it, but if we have the puck in the offensive zone, we don't have to worry about McDavid and Bouchard and Draisaitl. It is what it is. So, I agree with you. Get the puck to the other side. Play our game.
And we saw twice in the first game and the second game, in the final seconds, they put the puck in the net. I mean, what was it? 17 seconds game 1 in overtime, and game 2 was 10 seconds, I think. Something in that
Something
range.
stupid.
I mean, we got to close those games. Yeah, one went in our favor, but we got to do better at closing those games. That's definitely something that I think we need to take a look at. But I want to go real fast. I saw one of the nastiest moves. I mean, obviously Connor McDavid, he's had some nasty moves, but that third goal from McDavid to Draisaitl, that move was absolutely disgusting. Any other words that you guys could say to describe that?
I just think, you know, win or lose, this is just we got to be thankful, grateful to watch this hockey. We're watching some of the best hockey I've seen in my life. And I think, getting to see McDavid and Draisaitl in their prime making plays like that sucks that it's on us, on the Panthers, but that was one of the best hockey plays I've ever seen from McDavid right there. And
Wow, one of the best you've ever
I
seen?
look, I've seen him do some crazy stuff like that, but also just to get it across and Draisaitl with a perfect snipe on that. I mean, like you got to give credit to Edmonton and you got to give credit to Florida for just playing this hockey right now. It's special to watch.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a surprise that it's one of the best. I mean, give the given situation, sure. I mean, he's probably made better plays before that, look better. But I mean, we're in the Stanley Cup, so you know, that's
I mean,
big.
you look at it. The two guys on that play that he absolutely made look like they've never played hockey before were is the Selke winner of the last 2 years, and then Aaron Ekblad, who's been really locked down defensively. So, look, and that's just an incredible play. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. We saw Bouchardin on the scoring, Corey Perry with a goal at 40 years old. This Edmonton team is experienced.
Bouchard
But
had like 8 shots or something stupid like that.
yeah, just another unbelievable game. 46 shots in total again for Edmonton? I mean, it's tough to stop. But like we were saying before, Brad Marchand, we brought him in at the trade deadline. We have obviously most of our guys from last year that we brought back in. But Edmonton has guys, they were in it last year too. So out of these two teams, who has the more experienced group?
Oh, it's the Florida Panthers. Look, it's we've been here 3 straight years. We've won one. We know what it's like to win. I mean, Corey Perry's obviously 40 years old. He's been on the losing end of a lot of Stanley Cups recently. But I think with getting Marchand and then just the whole roster. I mean, Anton Lundell's 24 years old. He's played in 3 Stanley Cups. He's the most experienced 24-year-old I've ever seen. So, um, yeah, I think it's us for sure. Just because look, these teams like they're playing in back-to-back Stanley Cup, so most players in this series have played in a Stanley Cup, but just by a slight edge, we've played in more.
So does the Brad Marchand pickup make us the more experienced team, or even without Brad Marchand, we're still the more experienced team?
Definitely helps.
I say Marchand definitely puts that over the edge.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we have some free agents coming up, and we'll have an episode on that, down the
Yeah,
line.
we talked about forwards and defenseman experience, but if you look in net, Sergei Bobrovsky's 37 years old. He's got way more experience than Stuart Skinner, so that's also a plus.
That's a big plus, yeah. But it's going to be interesting if we sign Brad Marchand back. That's going to be something to look out for, because his price tag is going up because of this filing.
Yeah.
For another day.
We'll get to that another time, but something to think about. So big win. We got to carry the momentum. I want to go off this series for just a minute. We've talked about it. We saw some big news out of Dallas. Fire the head coach, Pete DeBoer.
Great move.
You say great move.
I do.
I say not so great move. Austin, you have the tiebreaker. What do you got?
Look, I'm with Nate here. It's
a shocker.
Look, if the simple reason you're firing him was because of the Jake Ottinger thing, and I think I saw the Dallas GM basically came out and said that wasn't really what it was, but
it was.
Yeah, well, look, I think Pete DeBoer is one of the most experienced head coach, and watch, he's gonna find a job and he's gonna find his way back to the same spot. He's never lost a game 7. We know that stat. look, you just at the end of the day, you run into the Edmonton Oilers back-to-back years in the Western Conference Finals. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. I mean, how much farther do they want him to go? I mean, he's been fired now from 3 teams, and he's made the Western Conference Finals in 6 or 7 of those 8 years. That is what I saw. So look, this is one of the better coaches in the league. And look, here's the reason I don't think you fire him. Every other team on the market that was looking for a coach has already hired their coach. So now you're behind in the process. A lot of the coaches that you would look at are already gone. So now you're going to look deep on the market and probably just get another coach that was fired who's been on multiple teams. And look, there's no better option on the market than Peter DeBoer.
So, Joe, tell us why you think it was a good move. Can't
Um,
wait to hear this.
yeah, I mean, I just think that that move is just too inexcusable. I mean, they said they needed a new voice in the locker room. Clearly, I mean, whether you want to believe it or not, he doesn't have much belief in his guys. Clearly.
Disagree.
I mean, that's his goalie. That's his boy. I mean, that's like, he's had a lot of success. He's gotten them to a Stanley Cup in the past. I mean,
Yeah.
that's their boy. And to take
Who
him out after 2 shots on goal and the defense wasn't even existing on one of them. I don't get it. I think it was I mean at the time I literally said it was the dumbest thing they ever could have did there. I don't get it. Whether you take him out and put him back in the game, which they didn't even do, which is even worse.
So there's my thing. I was okay with the poll, and I said I was on that from the beginning. That team, and he said it, they needed a spark. You have a game 5 against the Edmonton Oilers, 2 shots on goal and 2 goals. He was
That's
saying to his team that I'm willing to do some things that may seem unexpected to try to put this team to victory. Now, here's where I disagree. I do think Ottinger should have went back in the game. That I'm for.
I don't think that's the spark you need though. That's not a good spark. Taking one of your players that is better. He is quite literally better than another player and putting the worst player in. Ream him out on the bench, dude. Do whatever you have to do. Create your own spark. Clearly they needed a new voice, then maybe he couldn't do that. Maybe he was unable to create the spark himself, and the Stars were looking for somebody that can create the spark and not pull their goalie out to make a statement in an elimination game. I mean, it's a dumb move. Whichever way you look at it, it's dumb.
Well, we'll see who Dallas gets. We'll see where Peter DeBoer goes, and maybe we'll revisit this way down the line when we see who has the better success. We'll check that out. So let's go back to the series, and let's get right to it. Game 3 predictions. What do we need to do to carry the momentum? And then give me a goal score. Joe, who you got?
Um, you know, third line needs to stay doing what they're doing. I mean, they're literally essentially them and the defense are carrying the team. And well, okay, sorry, Sam Bennett exists. My bad. But yeah, I mean, they continue what you guys are doing. And I don't think there needs to be any changes at all. I think it's only a matter of time before, our franchise best player on our team shows up. I mean, he's not going to be quiet the whole series. It's not going to happen. So, I think that we're fine just the way we are. I have full confidence in the world that Barkov will be back and playing like Barkov does, like he did last year and the year before that and his whole career. So, I no worries at all. No worries at all.
Who's your goal scorer?
Oh boy. All right, so we pick one here. Is that what we're doing?
Pick one. Give me one.
All right. Uh, it's hard not to go with Marchand because of the Heat.
You're boring.
No,
That's
I'm not going.
boring.
I just said it's hard not to, but I'm not going with it. Um, you know, let me do it. Reinhardt's getting his first one, and it's gonna light up. It's gonna light the arena up, and
That's the spark we need.
yeah, absolutely. He's gonna be good,
All
throughout
right,
the rest of the series.
Austin, who you got?
Look, it's game 3 for me. Being 1-1 in the series is where we want to be. But look, it's go time for our top 4 best scoring forwards. Of not obviously Bennett was the guy in the playoffs, but our top 4, everyone knows Carter Verhaeghe, Alexander Barkov, Sam Reinhart, Matthew Tkachuk. It's go time for them in game 3. It's time to go. I think the scoring comes down a little bit because I think these goaltenders have played like they've given up eight goals each in the series, but man, they've made some huge saves, and I think the defense, the teams have let in a lot of these goals, or it's just credit to the offenses for making these plays. I think it comes down a little bit. I think maybe 3-2, 2-1. Goal scoring wise, I mean, this guy's talking Martian, this guy's talking Reinhardt. We know this. Come on. We know those guys.
Boring.
I gotta go off the board here a little bit. Man,
Reinhardt hasn't scored yet. There ain't nothing boring about it.
yeah,
Boring.
57 goals last year, 47 or 37 this year. We know he can put the puck in the back of the net. But we're going off the board here. We're going big 77, Nico Mikkola.
To the
Put one in.
defense.
No.
To the defense. All right. This is a big game. I mean, I said it. We need to keep all this momentum on our side. We can't give Edmonton any sort of breathing room. Stay physical. I think that's a big part of this game. Let's hit McDavid. Let's hit Draisaitl. Let's tire them out. Let's wear them out. That's my key to this game. I'm going to go. I think these offenses are just too good. I went high scoring game 1. I went, medium scoring game 2.
Are we going overtime again or?
Listen,
Please, God, no.
uh,
I'll need heart meds.
we said that game 2 wasn't that game, but you got a couple. You said a few, so you need one more, Austin. You need one more, and you called it. So, no, I'm not going to say overtime. I just want a game in regulation, so
Thank God.
so I can go to bed at a decent time.
Oh, you go to bed at a decent time, please.
Yeah, physicality. I'm gonna go. I said 4-3 last time. I'm gonna run that back. I'm gonna go 4-3 again. No overtime in regulation.
Oh, I forgot we were supposed to give score predictions.
I'm gonna go third line, but let's go a little different. I'm gonna go Eetu Luosterainen.
Yep.
That's who I'm gonna go with.
Should win AJ Greer. Let's go, baby.
Hopefully
AJ
he draws
Greer-
back in.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be big for
Let's
our
go.
fourth line
Let's go.
physicality.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's a big.
Yeah,
big
I want to bring something up that we haven't mentioned much of his name today, and I thought the Ekblad and Forsling in game 1 were pretty, not playing their best hockey, not playing the hockey we expect them to play from what we've seen from them. And even early in the game, I didn't see it either, but man, late in that game and in the overtime, Gustav Forsling just showed you why he's on the best contract in the NHL. He made some unbelievable defensive plays. Remember the one he was sliding down on like this whole body, lays
He
out,
loves that.
knocks with the stick, knocks it out of Evander Kane, who nearly was breaking to the net. So I think what we saw from Forsling was a big reason why we won game 2.
Yeah. And so we've heard some Conn Smythe names being thrown out.
Yeah.
We're 2 games in. I think it's too early.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go this episode. But next episode, after game 3, we're going to give our Conn Smythe predictions. That's what's going to happen. So start thinking about it. Get your minds on it.
Not many options
Yeah,
there.
it's not. Yeah.
Well,
we doing both teams or just Panthers?
we'll go both teams. Either team can win the Conn Smythe, so we'll go
If
either.
we win
Still
the
not.
cup, if we win
Still-
the cup, they might just throw that thing to McDavid again. So
All right, bro.
whatever.
Well, start thinking about it. Next episode, we are going to give you the Conn Smythe predictions. Big game, game 3, Monday. Coming back home. Big game. We need to win. Keep the momentum going. I think we're going to come out ready to go. Big game. For Austin Wiseman, Joe Damer, I'm Nathan Bray. Let's go Cats.
Let's go Cats, baby.
Sir.